warning, this video has flashing light, deals with these trigger warning, and contains major spoiler for the game and specifically the Babel event. Viewers' discretion is advised. The Doctor is the most misunderstood character in Arknights because he doesn't become a character until later on. He was just a catalyst. Ah yes, my favorite MC, spectator mode. Oh no! But all of that changed when we caught a glimpse of his backstory. The Ghost of Babel, a mastermind with logic far beyond what a man could physically come up with. You were merely just a piece on the chessboard as he moved even the most worthless of pawns into a winning position. Now this is the same man in the community's eye.
Let's go, squish that cat.
We are very split on who this Doctor is, with the fandom portraying him as either a goober that eats ramen by pouring boiling water into his mouth at 3 a.m., which, by the way, this is actually canon, or Satan's greatest thinker. But you see, the Doctor is one of the most tragic characters in Arknights, and I will try my best to show and break down what truly went down in the past. Firstly, the Doctor is not an emotionless monster, nor was he some cold mastermind. And in order to see that, we have to look into what went down before and during the events of Babel. Before the war and before the memory lost, the Doctor was, well, a doctor. To be more precise, he was called the Oracle, and he was a researcher assisting with the creation of many projects that would go on to make great impacts on the world. The Doctor is actually an alien to Terra, an ancient race of people who might be human. They travel the galaxy, and eventually he meets the Priestess. We'll put a pin in that. It is alluded to that the two had a strong bond. Some might say they're a couple. A couple of besties, eh? But eventually they landed on Terra. Then things started to go south. Something was beyond them. Watch it. So in order to save his life, the Priestess puts him in a stasis coffin, hoping that it would preserve him until the storm passes. When he woke up after a long slumber, he noticed that the world had changed a great deal. But it wasn't destruction. He saw life. And this is such a fascinating reality to me. Just imagine it with me. You wake up in a strange new world, you see so many new culture, new languages, heck, even different kind of people. I know that we live in an age of information and that you can simply look up on the internet of what something is or how it looks. But imagine if you've never had the concept of a vast blue world. A lake so massive it wraps around the planet. Imagine what it would be like to experience the wave for the first time. All of those things you've read about, it's real. But before we can venture out, you heard the pleading from your child, Amma 10. Or better yet, you may know her as Kaltze. So before going to sleep, the Doctor had two notable creations he was fond of, the Originium Project and the Homunculus. He basically set Amma 10 to wake him up if she ever needed him and then went into snooze mode. So now that he's awake, he wanted to know if she's a person of her own yet and if the Originium had spread and covered everything. He was also incredibly curious about the pink woman beside her. Like, wow, a new race? You have horns! And your name is Theresa. What are you, some kind of saint? The Doctor was like a kid in a candy shop. After all, what kind of researcher wouldn't be excited about uncovering a new world? Sorry, so you're called the Sarkaz. That's pretty cool. I mean, I kind of thought you were like demons or something. Dad, you can't say that. What? Demons? That's a slur now. What? How long have I been asleep for? Dad. What? I'm not saying she's a demon. It's a term from the... Dad. Okay, jeez.
I'm not racist, but...
So Theresa basically answered all of his questions to the best of her abilities. She tells him about her ideals, a unification of the world. Right now, war and violence plague this planet. Her people are not only being persecuted, but are also perpetuating the cycle of violence. She is trying her best to change the way of her people, but the Doctor does not know what he can do. He is just a researcher with no real political experience. So the Doctor requested one thing. He wanted to explore the new world to get a feel of it. He also needed to see what his Originium project truly did. So he got some supplies and began walking. He witnessed so many beautiful things, so many different cultures and people. I saw the reinvention of the radio, and the first thing you all did after discovering an ethereal field that permeates the universe is to infuse it with music. Now that's beautiful. In the midst of his travel, he stumbled upon a wreckage. He heard a little girl. She was trapped underneath the rubble, and so with a naturalistic instinct, he reached out his hand and rescued her. That child's name is Amiya. The two would go on to adventure together, and while the doctor saw many great things about Terra, he also saw a lot of terror. This child was being deported from her own home because of her infection, the very thing he helped created. What makes it even worse is that she has lost both of her parents and would have died in a hopeless dark pit if it wasn't for a coincidental encounter. I believe that nearly every man in the world would do the same thing. Of course, this is just my own opinion, but I think the human heart is very susceptible. Many people, even after they've experienced the hardship of life, would choose to do the right thing. Not because doing the right thing is expected of us or because of societal means, but because of that emotion. That feeling of being a good person is something so indescribably unique, you could say it's a human experience. I know the world isn't a fantasy. Heck, despite me saying all of this, I still lean towards the cynical side. I don't trust people. The internet only exacerbates this problem with the algorithm spreading hate and showing everyone that everyone is terrible. We react to negativity more than positivity. It's human nature. And yet, the average people aren't like those you see on the internet. Good deeds often go unnoticed, but I want to hope that the average normal people, the people like you and I, are still good people. That we will be that person that helps a child in need. And that's what I think is so special about the relationship between the doctor and Amiya. To show us that even a man so incredibly different and alien still chooses to help the child that isn't even his own. But this very relationship is the catalyst that led to the doctor's dilemma. The doctors soon understand that Amiya is ill from his own creation. She had what the Terrans would call erypathy, a cancer-like disease. So he had two options: stay where he is right now or go back to the place he woke up from. The doctor has been on this adventure with Amiya for a long time now, and there is a lot I left out, especially his other relationship and conversation. But the most important thing for you to know about is his return to Babel and the dilemma he must face. He truly cares for Amiya, and because of her, he cares for the world of Terra. So, as conflict began to brew with a spark of a new war, Babel was under attack. The situation was dire, and when things were turning for the worst, the doctor finally stepped up to take command. Remember, this guy is just a researcher. Sure, he was trained, but he had no real experience. Luckily, and this is a cool nod to chapter 1 of Arknights, the doctor was good, scary good. They only lost a few people while winning a nearly impossible fight, and this fact scared him. He had never known war and has only been through the simulations. But with the doctor now part of the main fighting force acting as the general, Babel had a real chance at survival. Then one day, he went with Theresa to a village and witnessed what happens when the infection gets too far. He witnessed a man die and turn into a cloud of dust. He was supposed to be an expert. He created this thing, yet he does not know what is happening. Why are they dying? This is supposed to save people. So why? What am I supposed to do? Theresa wanted to make him feel better. Her power can comfort him. But he refuses. A bit of time passed and he begins to experiment. He tried everything. Exposure, inhaling, stabbing, eating, everything he could possibly think of. But he's immune. So why does it affect the Terran? For now, he was able to create a suppressant with his own blood. It wasn't a cure, but it was able to help Amiya. And this was when he truly earned the title, the Ghost of Babel. He never speaks, he was never anywhere, and he only appeared when they needed him. But he wasn't emotionless. Quite the contrary. Amiya can tell he's unhappy, so to quell her worries, he decides to spend a day with her, only to... Way to quell a kid's worry. Here's the problem. The Originium project is his life's work. It was meant to save people, and it might even be the only way to give a life to everyone he cares about. A life away from pain and suffering. Think about it like this. You and the priestess are Minecraft players. Okay, stay with me. The both of you traveled the world, built a home, and even got yourself a pet cat. But then, after all the fun, simple stuff's out of the way, you begin to optimize. You expand, utilize redstone, enslave dozens, maybe even hundreds. And while doing all this, did you ever think about the villagers? The lives you stole as you take them from their own home? Too dumb to realize they are forever stuck in a 1x2 enclosed environment. At least, it's not as bad as being born only to get slaughtered immediately for the very iron ingots needed in the various of contraption you can think of. There isn't a limit to your creativity, to your mind of what you can do. After all, you two are the only thing that matters, right? These people, these things are all a bunch of ones and zeros. Their lives are riddled with inefficiency and are constantly under threats of zombies and even themselves. They are but a speck in the universe. Thinking about it, you're giving them a purpose. You're a god. You and her together. And that's what the predecessors are. Beings of intelligence beyond what our own can perceive and equipped with technologies capable of distorting and changing the very fabric of reality. To the people of Terra, they are the player, an eldritch being. I mean, their inventions have quite literally sparked life into the world of Terra. The predecessors' inventions are the reason the world is riddled with world-ending threats. And yet, that wasn't their purpose. The threats that permeate Terra were originally a shield built for one thing: the observers. There is still very little that we know about the observers other than the ARG and the droplets of information given through context in the latest chapter. But if the predecessor are Minecraft players, then the observers are the very programmer that made the game. Where we use logic to build and construct, they can simply write and rewrite the logic we use. It is an unfathomable amount of power that humanity cannot even conceive. I mean, literally, we cannot think of something that does not exist. The world's smartest man poses no more threat to them than does its smartest termite. That is why he is so desperate. That is why he chooses to abandon the people he grew to love just so he can save them. He felt as if he had to. What chance, seriously, what chance does an underdeveloped civilization even have? I mean, if you know that the world will end and you are forced to choose the option of unifying every single nation or finishing something you believe could possibly save everyone, what would you do? You are burdened by the millions of lives, thousands of years of progress, and the desperation to save the last remaining hope of your once proud civilization. Is it truly worth it to do bad just for the sake of good? A necessary evil for the greater good. That is the philosophy for this chapter. And so the Doctor willingly sacrificed someone he loves just for a chance that everyone and everything can survive. The Originium project must continue. It's the only way for people to survive. It has to be. The priestess always believed that life has a chance and that we can overcome the threats together. She wanted the world to be together.
When I see everyone playing in the snow on the deck, I can't help but fall in love with this frosty little phenomenon.
But because she was against him, he let the assassins in. Theresa does everything in her power to shield Amiya from what truly went on. She knows the Doctor had betrayed her, that he had made his final choice. Before Theresa fully succumbs to her injury, she gave Amiya her power and the crown. Theresa had always been there to witness the kind child, believing that she is the worthy successor to her dreams. She tells Amiya she wishes she could see her grow up. Then, Amiya falls asleep. Footstep. It was the Doctor. He asked her if she hated him. Not only did he betray her, he had hurt everyone he cared about. Still, he reassures. Don't worry, everyone will be safe. I made a deal that only cost you. He begins to make excuses, his guilt eating him. I won't abandon the people of Terra. The Originium project must continue, but I'll figure out a way to save everyone. Theresa understood this. The doctor couldn't abandon his project, nor could he let go of the guilt. The doctor was just a man. He isn't a god. He loves her and he loves Amiya, but he was too torn between decisions to fight for everything.
They awakened me, the destroyer, as if I was their savior.
Theresa smiled kindly and touched his face. She saw him crying. She always knew of his plan even when he chose to hide from everyone. So she gave them one last gift, a revenge of her own. She wiped his memory, everything, and all of his biases. She believes in him to the end, that the man is benevolent and would find a way to save everyone. She imparts a final message.
So, Doctor, please continue to stay with Amiya and Kaltzit. I believe that you will once again fall in love with this world, and once again choose hope and the future. Thank you, Doctor.
And that's the tragedy of the Doctor. He never did anything out of evil intent, and he isn't some emotionless monster. Yes, he was a genius with feat that rivaled the impossible, but he never loved doing them. He too wanted peace in a world hell-bent on tearing itself apart, but his problem was that he never told anyone about what he's going through or what he's thinking of. He hid his worries over the previous Annihilators coming back. Much like my Minecraft analogy, he really believed he could save everyone by himself. He thought he was a god, but he was just a man who should have tried to open up. The Babel event is incredible, and I have left a lot of stuff out between the conflicts and the politics. This was purely just about the Doctor and how he's so human. I hope I was able to provide more of an understanding to the Doctor's past for those who did not read this event. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed chapter 15. That one changed everything we know about Arknights. Okay, damn big.